I think there's a lot of talent among older people that's being underutilized. And I think there's a great opportunity to contribute your personal services to whatever organization it is that interests you.
Welcome to Mind My Age, presented by Total Life. I'm your host, Neelam Brar, and today we have an extraordinary guest, Alan Patricof. Alan is a renowned venture capitalist, investor, and author of the book, No Red Lights. With over 50 years in the venture community, Alan has been instrumental in the early stage financings of more than 500 companies, including giants like Apple and AOL. Beyond his professional achievements, Alan has had an eclectic life filled with politics, art, theater, international development, and athleticism. At 89, he continues to work full-time, maintain an active lifestyle, and pursue new experiences. On the topic of transitions, you've obviously exemplified how to age healthy and age with a young mindset. You were also married for 50 years to your extraordinary wife, Susan, until she passed away from Alzheimer's. How did you cope with that profound loss? And what advice do you have to our listeners who are going through similar experiences?
I had, strange word, I had the benefit, but she had Alzheimer's for 12 years. So it's not like it hit me over the head one night. And so you gradually learn to live with it. I realized that there was an end at some point, and I just took it every day as it came and stayed actively involved, kept her at home, and I couldn't have done any more than I did to make her life interesting and fulfilling, even though she was in a very difficult stage. And you never know when someone has this form of dementia or neurological disease, how much they're really benefiting by all the things you do. But I think people who are well motivated just keep trying, and you hope that something's getting through. And so I did that, and I have no regrets. I couldn't have done any more than I did. And when the end came, it was very peaceful and was just very natural. And as you may or may not know, fortunately, I engaged a year or two after that with someone I had known 50 years ago, and just got married 4 or 5 months ago. And so I guess in the world's terms, I'm a newlywed.
And we love that for you, Alan. It's been a great year for you so far. I think you've celebrated a honeymoon as well.
Yes. It was a honeymoon.
Alan,
every day's a honeymoon.
Alan, coming back to your decision to recently get married and your commitment to live 25 more years and celebrate that 25th anniversary, what are some of the future goals you have, both in your relationship as well as professionally, for that next 25 years? Because we at Total Life believe that your best years are ahead. And we really want our listeners to believe that and start understanding that mindset.
I think, in all honesty, I don't really plan. I don't think I'll be working for the next 25 years. I think that's a little unrealistic. But at the moment, I have no plans to stop. I work full time. I actually go to the office 5 days a week. I believe very strongly in that, particularly for younger people. Not so much important for me, but for younger people, I think it's critical to be in the office and through osmosis pick up what you can from people who've done it before and know more than you do. My plans for the future are probably to work a little less. I'm about to go on a 3-week holiday. I've never taken a 3-week holiday. I don't know if I'll make it. My wife doesn't think I'll make it, but we'll see. I really do have the sincere plans to do it, and I usually keep to what I plan to do. But I have a whole series of things booked from the second I get back.
Alan, it's so inspiring to hear how busy you keep yourself and how motivated and excited you are for the future. But of course, there must be some days where you just don't want to get out of bed. How do you motivate yourself on those days?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Neil. I don't have those days. I really don't. In fact, just the opposite. I can't wait to get out of bed. Sometimes pisses my wife off because I'm up and out, but I can't wait to go to work. I can't wait to go to my breakfast meeting if I have it. I can't wait. One of the reasons I love the venture business, I say this in my book, is I keep waiting for the elevator doors to open and the next Steve Jobs to come out. It hasn't happened, by the way, but that's what charges people up in the venture business. Exciting new things can happen at any moment.
It does beg the question that we as a nation need to redefine what life looks like past 65. And this concept of retirement is very dated. What are your thoughts on how we change that on a national scale?
How we change, what do you
The
refer to?
entire notion and like culture around retirement.
I think that's gradually changing. The concept of longevity and second career, what people do. I think there's been a progress even since I started prime time. I think you didn't talk as much about longevity or wellness, or people weren't even, we're talking 4 years ago, they weren't exercising much. There wasn't Ozempic. They weren't doing full body scans. They weren't taking nutraceuticals and hormones. I mean, we've invested in one company called Synergetics, which is a chain of longevity clinics around the country, which does the analysis and helps to figure out if there are ways to slow down or even possibly prevent diseases. But one of the things that we haven't got our hands around yet is aging a disease, or is it just an inevitable life cycle?
Alan, on that note, final thoughts and a call to action for our listeners to consider the benefits of staying active, engaged in their aging process.
That's it. I mean, it's stay active, stay engaged, think positive, and I think that in itself will enable you to live longer. I really sincerely believe that. I think people who are depressed, lonely, negative, unwilling to try things are setting themselves up for a shorter lifespan. I'm very much in the positive court. So go out and do something. Even if you don't want to, if you're in the paint business, start another paint company. If you sold your first company, if you've always dreamed of being an actor, go act. I have a very good friend who ran a great advertising agency, and at age 65, he decided to become an actor. And I'm actually going to see him at a couple of four Broadway shows. And I'm sure that's going to keep him alive a lot longer. Pick whatever it is you want, business or cultural, get involved in philanthropy. Particularly if you're older, I think one of the things that I would leave people with is I think there's a lot of talent among older people that's being underutilized. And I think there's a great opportunity to contribute your personal services to whatever organization it is that interests you, and do something. I have a sister who's 78, and she 2 or 3 times a week is teaching a young girl, and happens to be in Israel, but that's just an accident. She's teaching her English over, I don't know if it's Zoom or over the phone, but and her career was the publisher of a major magazine chain, but she got involved. Her husband teaches computer skills of how to run a home office in several agencies around the city, and helps people so that they get stuck in the middle of the night and they can't get on Google Chrome. He helps to get them, one. And that's recharge their lives, I will tell you.
Absolutely. Even at totallife.com, the therapists are of all ages, and we have several therapists in their 70s and 80s that continue to practice psychotherapy and continue to support people while they're enjoying their later years. They continue to stay active and use their wisdom. And I think That is the future of aging, to stay active, stay engaged, stay happy. So listeners, if you're inspired by today's conversation, visit totallife.com to learn more and sign up for resources that can help you age well. Remember, it's not too late to start taking care of your mental health and staying engaged. Stay mindful, stay healthy, and keep thriving. Until next time, this is Neelam Brar signing off.